Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are going to be making banana walnut muffins with a streusel on top. Come join me. So for this recipe, we're going to need 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. We're going to add that straight to the mixing bowl. Once again, if you don't have a stand mixer, that's perfectly fine. This recipe works with your hands and a spoon, or a wooden spoon and a silicone spatula, whatever you have. All right. 1.5. Make sure you get all of those little bits that you didn't already drop onto your work surface into the bowl. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And now it's 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Or if you like a little extra, you can always go a little extra on the cinnamon. However, this is how we like it. Now normally here is where you would add 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, ground nutmeg. We don't have nutmeg, so I don't use nutmeg. But this is where you would add it in. Now the recipe calls for 1.5 cups bananas, which comes out to roughly 3 to 4 bananas. And I know mine look a little dark. Mine were not ripe when I bought them the other day. So to ripen them, I had to put them into the oven at 350 degrees for about 5 minutes. And that auto ripes them, makes them nice, and when everything on the inside gets a little squishy, that's how you know they're ready. Make sure you're always washing your hands between steps. Sensory issues, hygiene issues, whatever excuse you have to make to remind yourself to wash your hands, wash your hands. Now we're going to mash the bananas. Now, whether you want large bits of banana, small bits of banana, it's all personal preference because it's all going into the same stomachs, It's just what we want to use with it. I wasn't getting very far with my fork, so I've got this vintage potato masher that it was my grandmother's and then my mother's, and now it's mine. But it doesn't just mash potatoes, it mashes bananas pretty nicely, if I say so myself. Sorry for the lighting on this side of my kitchen. I'm working on it. And now into a microwave-safe dish. I'm currently using a coffee mug because that's what I have, and it's safe in the microwave. We are going to melt 6 tablespoons of butter. While that's microwaving, preheat your oven to 425. And to the butter, we are going to do 2/3 cup packed brown sugar. 1 egg. Still using the same container because why am I going to make a bunch of dishes? It doesn't make any sense. Remember, wash your hands. After we're done washing our hands, we are going to then add 1 teaspoon-ish of vanilla. Normally I would say measure with your heart, but since I have a nut allergy, I can't eat these, so I stick to the recipe just a little bit more because I'm not baking for me. Also, we add 2 tablespoons of whole milk to our little bowl cup. And now we just mix it all together, getting everything in that cup nice and incorporated. It looks absolutely disgusting, but I promise you, it will taste amazing. Look at that. Perfectly, disgustingly incorporated. Now, to our dry ingredients, we're going to add our egg mixture, as well as our bananas. Go ahead and pop all of this in here. I probably could have done a better job of mashing these bananas, but I'm making them for my husband, and he doesn't complain about my inept banana smashing abilities. So that was 3 bananas, ripened bananas. They're a little cooked bananas on my end, but it'll be fine. And now we just mix this on a low speed until everything gets nice and incorporated. I know what you guys are saying now. Amanda, you said it was banana nut. I didn't forget the walnuts. I just like making sure everything else is incorporated before I add them, because sometimes the walnuts are a little too big, and I like to make sure that it's only bite-sized pieces that aren't going to break the teeth going in to the walnuts. And now mix. Now it is time to prep our muffin dish. Now, I like using regular cupcake baking cups. Not quite sure how much this will make. It all depends on the size that, you pour in there. Oh, that's too many in that one. We're just going to line all of them and see how that goes. Now for this part, I have an extra large ice cream scooper. I'm just going to take 1 scoop, pop it right in the middle. Maybe a little too much. I'm not too sure. But you know what? Nobody ever complains about an overstuffed muffin, right? I mean, obviously, if you want to make more, you make them smaller. But it's just my husband and my kids eating these. So, also, you can add about half a teaspoon of salt if you're using unsalted butter. I don't add salt to my recipes because sodium issues, high blood pressure, it's just not worth it to me. There are some recipes that I do insist need salt, but not everything needs salt. Let me scrape the end of this bowl and I'll be right back. So with my scooper, we made 9 beautiful little muffins. And I'm just cleaning up the edges because perfectionism is a toxic trait of mine. To the tops of these, we are going to add our streusel topping, which also has chunks of walnut in them, because it wouldn't be a walnut streusel without walnuts. And it definitely wouldn't be my kitchen if I didn't make a mess. Now we are going to bake this at 425 for about 5 minutes. And then, while the oven is still on and the muffins are still inside, we are going to cut the heat to 350. And we will bake it for another 16 minutes. I'm going to put these in the oven, and I will let you know exactly how much time my oven took. All right, now after 15 to 16 minutes at 350, we are going to take them out of the oven. And now we do the toothpick test, where you just take the toothpick, shove it in there, come out. If it comes out clean, it's ready to go. There's a little bit there, but as it sits and as it cools, it still internally cooks. So now we want to get these out of the muffin dish and onto some cooling racks. There. Now, the reason we take them out of here onto here is because metal is heat conductive, which means everything that is touching the metal still cooks because metal is hot. The oven was hot. And we just pull these out and let them sit. Now you can eat them right away. You can let them cool to room temperature, which is what I'm going to have to do because the husband is at work and the kids are at school. But there you have it. Some nice, beautiful banana walnut muffins with a little extra streusel on top. And like I say all the time, guys, if I can do this, so can you. I have faith.